Hey guys, today we're going to drift through one of the strangest and most beautiful things that has ever existed. Something you can't see, can't hold, but always feel. Time. It's there in the way your heartbeat slows at night, in the quiet ticking of a clock somewhere in another room, in the fading of light through your window as evening slips into darkness. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And now, wherever you are, let the world slow down for a while. Soften your gaze, let the hum of life around you fade, and gently drift with us into tonight's quiet exploration. When people first try to understand time, they didn't imagine it as a line or a clock face. They imagined it as a living thing, something that moved, pulsed, and flowed like the breath of the world itself. In ancient languages, the word for time often shared roots with life, or change, or even heartbeat. To them, time wasn't just a tool for scheduling harvests or prayers. It was the rhythm of existence itself. You picture early humans watching the slow shift of shadows on the ground, noticing how the sun climbed and fell, how the stars spun in familiar patterns across the night sky. That motion, that endless dance, was their first teacher. They didn't think of time as passing. They felt themselves moving through it. Later, philosophers began to argue about what time really was. Was it something that existed on its own, like air or gravity? Or was it just a way our minds organized memories? A map we made so we wouldn't get lost in change? Aristotle thought time was the measure of motion. If nothing moved, he said, there would be no time at all. But St. Augustine, centuries later, said something quieter and far more human. I know what time is, he wrote, as long as no one asks me. He was right. We all know time when we feel it, but it slips away when we try to define it. And as you listen now, you can feel how it stretches and shrinks. A minute can last forever if you're waiting for someone you love to come home. An hour can vanish when you're lost in a good story. Physically, time flows the same everywhere. But in your mind, it bends and folds, as if your thoughts were little planets warping the fabric of experience. Modern science eventually joined the conversation, centuries after Augustine. Newton said time was absolute, a steady, cosmic metronome ticking the same for everyone, everywhere. But even Newton must have felt the unease that idea brings. Because if time is a perfect machine, then every moment is already set in motion, and freedom itself becomes an illusion. The image shifts in your imagination, an hourglass in an endless desert, sand falling in a perfect rhythm, each grain a moment. Once fallen, it can never rise again. Yet somehow, new sand always waits above. Time isn't just a direction, it's a loop of endings and beginnings. The sunrise follows the sunset, and the heart that slows tonight will quicken again in the morning. Many cultures imagine time as a circle, not a line. The Mayans, the Hindus, the ancient Egyptians all saw life as a cycle of birth, decay, and renewal. To them, time wasn't escaping, it was returning. Each moment echoed through eternity. Even death wasn't an end, only a change of form in an ongoing pattern too vast for human eyes to see. And maybe that's why, when you're at peace, you stop feeling time altogether. The seconds dissolve. The world feels both eternal and still. You exist, but without measuring. Right now, as you breathe slowly, you might feel that same softness. The ticking fades. The edges of thought blur. You realize that time isn't something outside of you. It's something you create, moment by moment, heartbeat by heartbeat. So tonight, let that realization cradle you. You are not chasing time. You are the current it flows through. Every inhale begins a universe. Every exhale lets it go. Somewhere, a clock continues to tick. But in here, in this quiet space you've made for yourself, there's no need to count. Just drift. Let time lose its shape for a while. You open your eyes to a world before clocks, before ticking hands and flashing digits, before the anxious counting of seconds. Imagine it dawned thousands of years ago, when time was not yet divided but felt like warmth on the skin. The first humans didn't own hours. They lived inside them. They rose when the light touched their faces and rested when the dark folded over the land. The sun, the moon, and the stars were their only timekeepers. They didn't ask, "What time is it?" They asked, "What is happening in the sky right now?" In ancient Egypt, farmers watched the flooding of the Nile and noticed that it coincided with the rising of the star Sirius. That single star became their cosmic alarm clock, marking the beginning of each new year. Elsewhere, in Mesopotamia, priests traced the shadow of a stick in the sand. They saw how it crept and shrank as the sun arced across the heavens. And for the first time, humanity divided the day. You picture that moment. A quiet courtyard, hot wind, a priest kneeling beside a gnomon, the world's first sundial. He waits, patient, watching the shadows slide. Each inch of darkness represents motion in the heavens, a sign that the world is turning even when he cannot feel it. That was time's first heartbeat. Light becoming shadow, shadow becoming light. But what happens when the sky is hidden, when clouds swallow the sun, or night falls too soon? Humans needed time to continue, even when the stars went to sleep. So they turned to water. The clepsydra, the water clock, was born. A bowl filled with water, a small hole drilled in its base. Drop by drop, time escaped, not in numbers, but in rhythm. The same rhythm that once guided waves, rainfall, and breath. Each drop whispered now. Centuries later, another invention appeared, the hourglass. Two bulbs of glass joined by a narrow throat, sand slipping through like thoughts through memory. You could flip it, pause it, restart it. It gave humans an illusion of control, the first time we could reset time with a simple turn of the wrist. But sand, like moments, can never truly be reclaimed. Imagine the quiet of an old monastery, candlelight trembling against stone walls. A monk watches sand fall through the hourglass as he prays. The rhythm comforts him, not because he's counting the grains, but because it reminds him that everything moves in harmony. The universe, he believes, keeps time with God. Water, sand, and shadow, the first clocks were alive. They changed with the weather, with the moon, with the patience of whoever watched them. They breathed with the earth, and yet they also failed. On stormy days, the shadow vanished. In cold winters, water froze. In desert winds, sand clumped and refused to fall. Time, it seemed, was both obedient and wild, impossible to truly capture. That realization sparked something profound in humanity, the desire to perfect time, not just to watch it, but to command it. Civilizations began carving calendars into stone, building towers that reached toward the sun, counting not only hours but centuries. But every attempt to trap time revealed its trickery. No matter how finely you carve the divisions, no hour ever truly repeats. The sundial's shadow never falls exactly the same way twice. The water's flow changes with each drop. Even the stars, our most ancient guides, drift ever so slightly with the turning of the galaxy. And still we built, because deep down, humans long for rhythm. We need something to measure the invisible, to tell us that we are moving forward even when the world feels still. So tonight, as you listen, You can almost hear those early clocks again, the drip of water in the dark, the sigh of wind through reeds, the patient shuffle of sand. None of them rushed. None demanded attention. They simply flowed, steady and soft, marking moments not to count, but to cherish. You realize, perhaps, that those were better clocks than any we own today. Not because they were precise, but because they were kind. They reminded us that time was part of nature, not a cage to live inside. The first clocks didn't tell us when to work or when to sleep. They told us when the light would change, when the birds would sing, when the tide would return. They spoke in a language of harmony, not urgency. And maybe, as you lie there now, you can feel that old rhythm again. Not mechanical, not digital, but organic. The quiet pattern of your breathing becomes its own clock. The rise and fall of your chest is the pendulum. The beating of your heart is the pulse of the cosmos. No ticking, no alarms. Just flow. You're floating now, not through the past, but through something much larger, the rhythm of the earth itself. Beneath the ticking of man-made clocks lies a deeper pulse, one that has guided all life since the beginning. It's slow, steady, and ancient, the beating heart of the planet. When you stand still and feel the wind brushing your skin, or listen to the distant rumble of waves, you're hearing that rhythm. The Earth rotates once every 24 hours, but even that number is a kind of lie, a simplification. Because our planet, like us, is imperfect. Its spin wobbles, its pace drifts. A single day today is just a little longer than it was millions of years ago. Scientists have found it by reading stone. Deep in cliffs and coral reefs, tiny layers form year by year, marking ancient seasons. Within them lies the secret. Hundreds of millions of years ago, a day on Earth lasted only about 22 hours. The moon was closer, the tide stronger, the world turning faster. You can almost picture it. A younger Earth under a pale orange sky. Oceans shimmering like quicksilver. The moon looming larger than it does now. The days were short, the nights shorter still. Each sunrise arrived just a little sooner. But over time, the moon's pull slowed us down. Like a patient dance partner, it tugged on the tides, creating friction that gently stretched the length of our days. Every century, Earth's rotation slows by just a few milliseconds. Almost nothing. But across ages, everything changes. It's strange to think that the minutes you live are shaped by this cosmic tug-of-war. Gravity and motion locked in an eternal waltz. The moon drifts farther away, about 4 centimeters each year. The days lengthen, quietly, endlessly. The clock of the world ticks slower than it once did. Time, in this sense, isn't just something we measure. It's something we are. Every cell in your body vibrates with the Earth's rhythm. Even your heartbeat follows invisible cues from the planet's magnetic field and the rotation of sun. You're, quite literally, part of the cosmic clockwork. And like every clock, this one keeps perfect time. Not because it's unchanging, but because it never stops changing. In ancient China, scholars built great observatories to track the heavens. They believed the harmony between heaven and earth depended on precise timing. That if the emperor's calendar fell out of sync with the sun, chaos would follow. They watched the stars night after night, adjusting the year by fractions of a degree to keep the cosmos in tune. In a way, they were right. When time slips, we feel it. When days grow shorter or longer, our sleep falters, our moods shift. The Earth's spin sets the rhythm not just of days, but of minds. Astronomers today still measure this rhythm, not with sand or water, but with lasers bounced off mirrors left on the moon. Every reflection returns a little slower than before, whispering that time itself has stretched. The very length of a day changes beneath our feet, even as we go about our lives unaware. You can almost feel that stretch now. The silence between each breath feels wider, slower, softer. Somewhere far above, the moon still pulls gently on the oceans, lifting whole continents by the width of a finger. Beneath you, the planet turns, a soundless, perfect motion that defines every moment of your existence. And when scientists adjust their atomic clocks, adding a leap second every few years to keep human time aligned with Earth time, they're performing a kind of ritual, a small gesture of respect to an ancient rhythm we can measure but never master. So, as you listen now, you're synchronized with everything. The rotation of the planet, the drift of the moon, the heartbeat of tides against distant shores. Your pulse, your breath, your thoughts, all of them part of the same, endless pattern. The Earth does not hurry. It simply turns, patient and silent, carrying you through the hours like a cradle floating through space. There is no need to chase time. You are already moving with it. You drift further now, out of the quiet rhythm of Earth and into a realm where time begins to stretch and bend, where the familiar rules fade and something entirely new begins to take shape. This is the world that Einstein revealed, the elastic universe, where space and time are not separate things at all, but two sides of the same invisible fabric. Picture the cosmos as a great, dark ocean. Every planet, every star, every atom floats upon it. The ripples that spread across this ocean aren't made of water. They're made of time itself. Every movement, every bit of mass, every flicker of light bends and warps that ocean ever so slightly. And because of this, time flows differently depending on where you are. Imagine standing on the surface of Earth, watching a clock tick high above you on a satellite. That clock runs just a little faster than the one in your hand. It's not broken. It's just living in a weaker gravity field, where space-time is stretched more loosely. To that clock, seconds pass more easily. It sounds impossible until you realize that this effect is happening right now. Your phone's GPS system relies on satellites orbiting far above. If engineers ignored the difference in time between the ground and the sky, your location could drift by kilometers every day. Each coordinate you see is a triumph over the strange fluidity of time. Einstein once said, "Time and space are modes by which we think, not conditions in which we live." In his universe, nothing is fixed. Time doesn't march forward like a line. It flows like honey, thick, slow, distorted by gravity and motion. You can feel that, even here, as you listen. Time doesn't always feel equal. When you're waiting, it's dense and heavy. When you're dreaming, it's thin as mist. It expands and contracts, just as Einstein said it would, though not through equations, through emotions. For him, gravity was not a force that pulled, but a curve that invited. Massive objects, like stars or planets, sink into the fabric of the universe, creating gentle wells that nearby matter slides into. Clocks slow near these wells, and light bends as it tries to escape. In places where gravity grows extreme, near black holes, for instance, time nearly stops. Astronauts have witnessed this strange effect firsthand. A clock on the International Space Station ticks ever so slightly slower than one on Earth's surface. The tiniest difference, yet proof that time itself depends on perspective. One day, an astronaut could look back and see that her seconds lasted longer than those of her friend below. This isn't science fiction. It's the everyday poetry of relativity, and it reminds us of something humbling. that time is not universal. It's local. It's personal. It belongs to the gravity that holds you and the motion that carries you. Now imagine two twins. One stays on Earth. The other travels into space at near the speed of light. When the traveler returns, she has aged less than her sibling, not because her body resisted time, but because time itself flowed differently around her. To her, the journey was short. To the one who waited, it was a lifetime. That thought alone is enough to soften the boundaries of understanding. It means there's no single now. Every place, every person, every particle lives in its own rhythm of time. Somewhere out there, light from stars that died billions of years ago is only just arriving, while other galaxies have already moved beyond our reach. The universe, then, is not one story told in order. It's a million moments unfolding at once, some fast, some slow, some never-ending. You breathe in slowly, and you realize, even within your own life, time flows differently from moment to moment. The minutes before sleep feel longer than the minutes after waking. A day in grief drags like years. A day in joy vanishes before you can grasp it. You live in your own private field of relativity. So, as the stars turn overhead, remember this. You are not a passenger moving through time. You are part of the fabric itself, bending, stretching, expanding with every thought, every heartbeat, every dream. The universe curves around you, and you curve around it. And in that endless conversation between gravity and light, between space and time, you are perfectly, exquisitely on time. Imagine, for a moment, the quiet ticking of a digital watch on your wrist. It feels absolute, each second sharp and even each minute precise. Yet beneath that certainty lies a truth both strange and humbling. Your watch, your heartbeat, even your thoughts are running just a little slower than those of someone standing a few meters higher above sea level. This isn't poetic exaggeration. It's the daily expression of Einstein's relativity, woven into every moment of modern life. You live in a world where time bends and flexes constantly, but technology has learned to keep up. High above the Earth, satellites orbit through thinner gravity. Out there, time flows faster. Their onboard atomic clocks tick ahead of ours by about 38 microseconds every day. It's a difference so small that you could never feel it. Yet without adjusting for it, the entire GPS network would collapse. Every map you open, every navigation route that leads you home depends on those calculations. Your phone, in a quiet act of cosmic choreography, is constantly reconciling the times of heaven and earth. It corrects the tiny stretch of seconds so your world remains aligned. So as you walk through a city, glancing at a glowing screen, you are unknowingly participating in one of the greatest experiments in physics. Every time you find your way home, you're proving Einstein right. But relativity isn't just something happening up there in the stars. It happens in your own body, too. When you move, even just by walking or breathing faster, time shifts by a fraction. A single atom in motion experiences reality at a slightly different rhythm than one at rest. You are, in a very real sense, a collection of countless clocks, all ticking in harmony, yet never perfectly synchronized. The cells in your eyes, the neurons in your brain, the molecules of air around you. Each one is telling its own version of now. Physicists have built instruments to measure these differences. They place one atomic clock at the bottom of a staircase and another at the top. After a day, the higher clock is ahead by a few trillionths of a second. It's such a small number that most of us will never perceive it, yet it reminds us that time is fragile, a flexible thread that depends on where you stand. Even air itself carries time differently. A single photon, leaving the surface of the sun, experiences no passage of time at all. To that beam of light, its journey to Earth, spanning 150 million kilometers, happens in an instant. To you, it takes 8 minutes. In the eyes of the universe, both are true. You start to realize that there's something beautiful in this contradiction. The world appears solid and predictable, but it's actually alive with tiny distortions, invisible waves, and microscopic hesitations. Even your simplest actions, reaching for a glass of water, turning your head toward a sound, ripple through space-time, changing the timing of everything around you by an immeasurable degree. And yet, within this chaos, there is harmony. Nature never loses track of itself. The galaxies spin, the planets orbit, and somehow, your heart continues its own steady rhythm, matching the beat of an expanding universe. This is the secret gift of relativity, not confusion, but connection. It teaches that nothing exists in isolation. Every motion affects every other. Every clock in the cosmos, from an electron's vibration to the ticking of pulsars, participates in one vast, interconnected flow. If you close your eyes now, you can almost feel it. The room grows still, and in that stillness, a subtle hum begins to form. The hum of the universe keeping time. You realize that your heartbeat, soft and slow, is just one note in that cosmic rhythm. For every person, every creature, every planet, time flows differently. Yet together, they compose a single melody that never stops playing. So as you breathe, remember that you are not late, nor early, nor behind. You are exactly where the universe expects you to be, suspended between gravity and motion, between seconds that stretch and seconds that shrink. And if you ever doubt that science could be poetic, think of this. Every step you take slightly changes the way time flows for you. Every heartbeat makes the cosmos adjust itself, ever so slightly, to keep the dance in balance. That's not just physics. That's grace. There's another clock, quieter than any built by human hands. It doesn't hang on a wall or float in orbit. It beats inside you. Every second of your life is measured not only by the spin of Earth or the pulse of stars, but by the secret rhythm of your own biology, a timekeeper older than civilization, written into every cell you possess. This clock doesn't tick. It pulses. It hums. It lives in a tiny cluster of neurons deep within your brain, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, no bigger than a grain of rice. From that small point behind your eyes, it tells the rest of your body when to wake, when to sleep, when to dream, and when to heal. It's your circadian rhythm, the biological heartbeat of time. You feel its influence even when you don't notice it. The rise of morning light tells your brain to release cortisol, not the stress hormone people fear, but the one that gently stirs you from slumber. Later, as the sky burns gold and fades to indigo, another messenger, melatonin, begins its whisper, softening your thoughts and lowering your heartbeat. The body has always listened to the sky. Long before watches or electricity, humans synchronized to the light of the world. Even today, though we hide behind screens and windows, that connection remains. When you feel jet lag or sleeplessness after staying up too late, it's your inner timekeeper struggling to reconcile itself with the turning of Earth. You can picture it now, a vast orchestra playing beneath your skin. Every organ, every cell follows its own rhythm, yet all take their cues from that tiny conductor in your brain. The liver waits for night to filter toxins. The stomach wakes when breakfast arrives. The heart slows when darkness deepens. You are a galaxy of clocks, all beating in quiet harmony. Scientists have discovered that even when isolated from sunlight, these internal rhythms continue for days, sometimes weeks. Time is not just something you follow, it's something you create. The rhythm of life itself doesn't depend on the world outside. It was born within you, encoded in DNA, passed down from ancestors who once measured dawn by the color of the horizon. Every creature carries this gift. Flowers open when morning light returns. Crickets sing according to lunar cycles. Even coral reefs release their eggs at the same moment each year, guided by the moon. Nature keeps perfect time, not because it counts seconds, but because it listens to patterns. There's a gentle irony here. In our rush to dominate time, humans built clocks so precise they lost touch with their own natural pace. The inner rhythm, slow, patient, circular, was replaced by one made of numbers. We forgot how to feel time, but the body remembers. It speaks in yawns, in stretches, in the subtle heaviness that drifts across your shoulders at the same hour each night. It whispers through hunger, through dreams, through the pulse that softens when darkness falls. Even when surrounded by glowing screens and artificial light, the body knows when the sun has set. If you close your eyes now, you can almost hear it. A soft ticking beneath your ribs, the slow metronome of your pulse syncing with the silence around you. The temperature of your skin drops just a little. Your breath deepens. You are entering your own midnight. Scientists call this cycle homeostasis, the body's return to balance. Every evening, as melatonin spreads and the mind begins to drift, your temperature dips and your thoughts grow fluid. This is not weakness, it's design. The body doesn't resist time, it dances with it. And when sleep finally comes, your inner clock continues its quiet work. It files memories, heals cells, resets chemistry, and prepares you for another turn of the earth. Even in rest, you are participating in the grand motion of everything. It's comforting to know that the same process unfolding in you right now, this slow unwinding, this letting go, is mirrored in trees closing their leaves for the night, in oceans changing tides, in stars rising over another hemisphere. You're not separate from time. You are its expression. So let the rhythm of your body guide you now. Let it slow the rush of thought, soften the edges of worry. Feel the quiet beat that has carried you through every dawn and dusk since the beginning. It doesn't hurry. It doesn't stop. It simply moves, like waves, like breathing, like the turning of the world. And as you sink deeper into stillness, that clock within you keeps perfect time, whispering the same message it always has. Rest. Breathe. Everything is right on schedule. Sometimes, you can feel time change without ever looking at a clock. It happens in your mind, quiet, subtle, but undeniable. A moment can expand into forever or disappear before you realize it's gone. This strange elasticity of perception reveals that time doesn't just live in physics or astronomy. It lives inside consciousness. Think of those moments when your heart races, when fear or excitement takes over. A car suddenly swerves, a shadow moves unexpectedly, a thrill jolts through your chest. In that instant, time slows. You feel every detail in perfect clarity, every sound, every movement, every heartbeat stretching longer than it should. Scientists call it time dilation of perception. Your brain floods with adrenaline and begins to sample the world more rapidly, creating the illusion that events unfold in slow motion. The truth is, your inner clock doesn't tick evenly. It speeds and slows depending on emotion, focus, and memory. When you're deeply engaged in something, painting, writing, solving a problem, or falling in love, you stop noticing the minutes. Hours melt away. Psychologists call this the flow state, where awareness narrows and time seems to vanish altogether. But when you wait, in boredom, loneliness, or uncertainty, every second feels heavy. The brain counts more precisely when it's restless. That's why 10 minutes in line can feel like an hour, while 10 minutes of laughter vanish in an instant. It's not that time behaves differently, it's that you do. The brain records time through change, and when life slows down, there are fewer changes to notice. The mind stretches the silence to fill the space. This is why, as we age, the years seem to accelerate. When we are young, every day brings new experiences, new patterns for the brain to encode. As we grow older, familiarity sets in, and the mind takes fewer snapshots. Time feels faster because memory captures less. Days blur together, but that illusion can be softened. Simply paying attention, truly noticing small details, slows perception again. The warmth of a cup in your hands, the shape of clouds drifting past, the rhythm of your breath. Awareness expands time. Presence gives it weight. Deep inside your brain, near the hippocampus, lies a network of neurons that act like a biological stopwatch. They keep track not through numbers, but through changes in firing patterns, a sequence that can be stretched or compressed depending on what you're doing. Meditation studies show that when people let go of thoughts and focus on breathing, this internal clock slows dramatically. That's why minutes of stillness can feel like hours of peace. Dreams take this even further. In dreams, the brain is freed from the signals that anchor it to real time. A dream that feels like a lifetime can pass in a few seconds. When you wake, you remember the story of time, not its duration. In those moments between sleep and waking, that hazy space where your body is heavy but your mind still drifts, time dissolves completely. It becomes something fluid and infinite, neither fast nor slow, but soft as mist. You can feel it now, as your breath lengthens and your thoughts begin to lose their edges. Some neuroscientists think this distortion is a gift. It may be the brain's way of helping us endure fear, find creativity, or sink into rest. Time, they say, is the mind's most flexible invention, and perhaps its most merciful. So as you listen, notice how even now, time seems to change texture. The seconds between words stretch wider. The sound of your breathing fills the silence like music. You are both inside time and outside it, watching it pass while floating effortlessly above it. Every living being experiences this dance. The hummingbird whose wings beat so fast that its life feels like lightning. The tortoise whose days pass in patient stillness. The tree that counts years in rings, unmoved by the rush of seasons. Each lives in a different tempo, yet each experiences time as fully as the other. And you, somewhere in between, are both lightning and stillness. Your body moves through minutes, but your awareness drifts through eternities. So let the edges blur. Let the seconds soften. Let the world outside slow to match your heartbeat. Time isn't running away from you. It's unfolding within you, quietly, gently, and perfectly in tune with your breath. You drift further, out beyond the fragile rhythms of the human body, into the vast and patient rhythm of the universe. Here, time unfolds on a scale so enormous that it no longer feels like motion at all, only presence. The cosmos keeps time too, but its seconds are centuries, its hours are eons. Close your eyes and imagine the slow turning of the planets, the gentle wobble of their axes, the endless tides of starlight that wash across space. Everything moves, yet nothing seems hurried. In this grand expanse, time takes on a new texture. Not the ticking of a clock, but the deep, resonant hum of existence itself. The Earth spins once every 24 hours, but Jupiter does it in 10. Neptune takes 16 hours, while Venus, in its lazy elegance, needs 243 days to complete a single rotation, longer than its year. To each world, the rhythm of a day feels different. To Mercury, sunrise might last an entire lifetime. To Saturn, a season can endure for decades. Even stars have their own sense of time. Some flare into brightness and die within a few million years. Short-lived, furious suns that burn through their fuel in a cosmic blink. Others, like the quiet red dwarfs scattered throughout the galaxy, may burn gently for trillions of years, outliving every civilization, every memory, every whisper of human history. You begin to sense that time isn't uniform anywhere, not in physics, not in thought, not even among the stars. Each celestial body lives within its own rhythm, just as you do. A single heartbeat of the cosmos might outlast everything you know, and still, the universe keeps its steady beat. The Milky Way spins once every 230 million years, dragging billions of stars through its spiral arms. Every rotation marks another cosmic breath, an inhale and exhale on a scale too vast to imagine. The sun itself, drifting through space, carries you along this spiral, never to return to the same spot twice. You're moving with it now, through both space and time, part of a galactic tide you'll never feel, yet always belong to. In the deep beyond, stars die and are born again. Massive ones explode in supernovae, bursts of energy that outshine entire galaxies for a brief moment, scattering dust and elements across light years. That dust will one day become new suns, new planets, perhaps even the atoms of future lives. Nothing is lost. The universe recycles not just matter, but time itself, folding endings into beginnings over and over again. Farther still, beyond the Milky Way, clusters of galaxies drift apart as space itself expands. The distance between them grows faster than light can travel. To them, time moves differently too, stretched by gravity, twisted by motion, distorted by the very expansion that carries them away. There's a theory that the universe has its own heartbeat, not metaphorical, but physical. Some physicists think space may oscillate, expanding and contracting across unimaginable ages, breathing in and out like a living organism. If that's true, then everything, you, the Earth, every star, exists within the slow, patient inhale of the cosmos. And just as your breath feels effortless when you're calm, the universe too seems at peace in its vast rhythm. Nothing is rushed. Even decay takes its time. Stars fade, light cools, atoms dissolve, but all of it happens within a kind of divine patience. You can feel that stillness now, can't you? The quiet between thoughts, the gap between breaths, the long, slow turning of everything, even as you lie completely still. To some, cosmic time feels cold, indifferent, but if you listen closely, it's not indifferent at all. It's the lullaby of existence, a rhythm that cradles galaxies the way the ocean cradles its waves. You're part of that rhythm. The same laws that move Saturn's rings also move the blood through your veins. The same gravity that holds stars in orbit keeps your feet pressed gently to the Earth. From the smallest atom to the largest cluster of galaxies, everything follows a tempo, an ancient, unbroken pattern that began when the universe was born. And though it feels infinite, Even this rhythm will one day fade, slowing as stars exhaust their light and space itself grows silent. But not yet. Not tonight. Right now, the universe hums softly. You are floating in its breath. One slow exhale among billions of others. Part of an endless song without beginning or end. If you listen closely, it almost sounds like the ocean. There are moments when time seems to vanish altogether. Not because the universe stops moving, but because your awareness slips somewhere else. This is the strange landscape of sleep and memory, where time folds in on itself like fabric, where hours and seconds lose meaning. When you dream, your brain doesn't keep time the way it does when you're awake. The signals that mark seconds, the oscillations of neurons in your frontal cortex, quiet down. The conscious clock falls silent. You drift into a world built entirely from memory and imagination, where past, present, and future merge into one fluid space. Think of a dream you once had. Maybe it felt like days passed, entire stories unfolding, people arriving and disappearing, scenes melting into each other. Yet when you woke, the clock had barely moved. Scientists studying REM sleep discovered that during dreaming, the brain constructs a story of time, not a measurement of it. It doesn't tick, it flows. Inside a dream, you might walk through childhood streets, speak with people long gone, stand beneath a sky that has never existed. And somehow, it all feels real, coherent, natural. The mind becomes a universe of its own, creating time from emotion and narrative. Some researchers think this ability to bend time is how we process memories. During sleep, the hippocampus, that small, seahorse-shaped region of your brain, replays fragments of your day, not in order, but in waves. It stitches moments together, testing connections, reinforcing what matters, erasing what doesn't. To dream is to reorganize time itself. When people are deprived of sleep, their sense of time begins to fray. Minutes blur into hours, days into endless twilight. The mind loses its rhythm, hallucinations appear, and the distinction between waking and dreaming fades. It's as if the body, desperate to repair its clock, begins to invent time just to survive. You can almost picture it. Neurons flickering in the dark like tiny stars, each one firing in a rhythm slightly different from the rest. Together, they form constellations, patterns of thought and memory, but never perfectly aligned. This is the universe within you, mirroring the cosmos above. And just as galaxies hold a record of their own formation in light and dust, your brain holds the record of your life through patterns of electricity. Every memory, every heartbeat, every dream leaves a trace. Even when you forget, the imprint remains somewhere, waiting to resurface. That's why time feels different in memory. Think of a childhood afternoon, sunlight slanting through a window, the smell of rain, the sound of laughter echoing across years. That moment feels frozen, eternal. But it's not frozen at all. Your mind simply keeps it alive outside the normal flow of time. Memory is the closest thing we have to time travel. There's something tender about that, isn't there? The way the past can live again, not as an image, but as a sensation, a color, a breath, a warmth in the chest. Your brain is both the traveler and the landscape, wandering through its own corridors of time. Sometimes, in the half-sleep before dawn, those memories mix with dreams. You might see a face from decades ago, or find yourself in a place that never existed. The boundaries blur, and for a few moments, everything, every age, every version of you, coexists. It's peaceful there, free from clocks, free from sequence. Even when you're awake, fragments of this dreamlike perception remain. A song can pull you back years in an instant. The scent of an old book can collapse a decade into a single breath. Time inside the mind is not linear. It's spherical. You can step anywhere you've been simply by feeling. And when you sleep tonight, your mind will do it again, folding, weaving, softening the edges of reality. Somewhere inside, neurons will fire in patterns shaped by everything you've seen and felt. They'll create a quiet world made only for you, where time bends just enough for rest to feel eternal. You are not losing time when you sleep. You are touching the part of existence where time has no meaning. The same stillness that fills deep space, the same calm between heartbeats, the same silence between stars. So as your eyelids grow heavier, let yourself drift into that place without borders. Let minutes dissolve. Let hours fade. In a dream, there is no before or after, only the endless now. Time and gravity, two words that sound separate, yet in truth they are partners in an ancient, silent dance. Wherever gravity deepens, time slows. Wherever gravity weakens, time flows more freely. It is one of the strangest and most beautiful truths the universe has ever revealed, that the weight of existence itself can bend the rhythm of reality. Picture yourself standing on a mountain peak. Beneath you, the earth pulls at your body, your bones, your blood. The force is subtle but constant. Now imagine a clock at your feet and another in the valley below. The clock higher up will tick just a little faster. Not by minutes, not by seconds, but by billionths of a heartbeat. The difference is invisible, yet it is real. Gravity stretches time. Now imagine stepping closer to something far more massive. A neutron star, for instance, where a teaspoon of matter weighs 1 billion tons. Their gravity is so intense that time crawls. A single second on that surface could mean hours for someone watching from afar. If you could stand there and look up, you'd see the universe above you speeding forward while you remain nearly still. Go deeper still, and you approach the edge of understanding. A black hole, a region where gravity bends light itself, where space curves so sharply that every direction points inward. Here, time behaves in ways that defy language. Astronomers call the boundary the event horizon, the point beyond which not even light can return. From the outside, an object falling toward it appears to freeze in place, its motion slowing infinitely as it nears the edge. From its own perspective, though, it continues to fall swiftly, seamlessly, crossing into a place where time as we know it ceases to exist. If you could watch that moment, you'd see a paradox unfold. Two versions of time existing at once. One stretched into eternity, the other vanishing in an instant. It's not a trick of vision. It's the structure of reality itself. Einstein's equations predict it, but even he struggled with what it meant. To him, gravity wasn't a force pulling you downward. It was space and time bending under the presence of mass. A planet, a star, a black hole. Each one shapes the stage on which time performs. There's something almost spiritual in that idea, that matter and time are lovers entwined, each defining the other. Without gravity, there would be no orbits, no seasons, no stability, only endless, formless expansion. Without time, gravity would have nothing to shape, no story to tell. The universe, then, is a choreography of falling, planets circling stars, stars spiraling in galaxies, galaxies drifting through dark matter. Everything is in motion, everything is bending space and time just a little. Even you, your body, small as it seems, bends space-time ever so slightly, tugging the world toward you in the tiniest of ways. Physicists once thought that gravity and time were separate threads of the cosmos, but we now know they're part of the same tapestry. The flow of time you feel right now, the gentle rhythm of your breath, depends on the curvature of the earth, the pull of its mass, the light of the sun. You exist within a well of time, sculpted perfectly for life. Near the surface of a black hole, this relationship grows extreme. Time stretches infinitely, light bends back on itself, and space folds until direction loses meaning. Some scientists think that, beyond that veil, time could even reverse or loop, forming strange closed paths that twist through dimensions we can't yet imagine. If you listen closely, you can almost feel it. That invisible connection between wait and waiting, between falling and the flow of moments. When you hold something heavy, your muscles tighten, your breath slows. Gravity pulls not just on your body, but on your perception. The world feels thicker, denser, quieter. Maybe that's why moments of awe or grief, times when emotion feels heavy, also seem to slow time. Perhaps the body, in its own subtle way, mirrors the cosmos. Perhaps we carry the laws of relativity in our very hearts. So tonight, as you lie still, you're surrounded by this delicate fabric, the one that binds light, gravity, and time together. Every star above you, every atom within you, tugs gently at it, shaping reality in ripples too small to see. You are floating in a field of invisible threads, woven from the same substance that holds galaxies in their spiral arms. The earth pulls you close, the moon pulls the oceans, and through it all, time stretches softly, patiently, perfectly. Let yourself feel that pull, not as weight, but as belonging. You are not falling through time. You are resting in its embrace. Long before equations described the dance of gravity and time, humans sensed another kind of pull, the need to control time itself. The stars and seasons were not enough. They wanted certainty, precision, order. They wanted to hold the flow of moments in their hands. And so began humanity's long obsession with mastering time. It started innocently. Farmers carved calendars into stone to predict the return of the rains. Priests observed solstices from temple windows to align rituals with the heavens. Time was still sacred then, a language between earth and sky. But as civilization grew, so did impatience. Kings demanded schedules. Traders needed consistency. Empires wanted order. The gentle rhythm of nature was replaced by the sharp beat of regulation. The ticking of civilization had begun. In ancient Rome, Julius Caesar reformed the chaotic lunar calendar, aligning it with the solar year. His Julian calendar gave the world leap years, small adjustments to keep humanity in step with the sun. Yet even this system drifted, losing a day every century. Time, it seemed, refused to be ruled. Then came the monks, guardians of time in the Dark Ages. They built the first mechanical clocks, not for commerce, but for prayer. Bells rang at dawn, at midday, at twilight, dividing the world into holy intervals. Time became sacred once more, yet also strict. Life began to march to the rhythm of metal gears instead of the movement of stars. Centuries later, the Industrial Revolution transformed that rhythm again. Steam engines and factory whistles demanded precision to the second. Workers rose and rested not by sunlight, but by the sound of machines. For the first time, humans became synchronized, not to nature, not to spirit, but to one another. The personal flow of time dissolved into collective routine. Railroads made it worse, or perhaps better, depending on how you see it. Before trains, Each town kept its own local time, measured by the position of the sun. Noon in one city could differ from noon in another by several minutes. But trains could not run on that chaos. So, in 1883, the world divided itself into 24 time zones, slicing the planet into equal hours, aligning billions of lives with invisible lines of longitude. The age of universal time had arrived. From sundials and dripping water to atomic precision, humanity had finally achieved what it wanted: perfect synchronization. Yet, perfection came with a cost. We began to live by numbers instead of moments. The whisper of twilight, the stillness of dawn, the subtle shift of seasons, all were replaced by the tyranny of the clock. Minutes became currency. Lost time became failure. We turn an experience into a measurement. You can feel that pressure even now, the quiet tension between the natural and the mechanical. Somewhere nearby, a clock ticks. Somewhere else, an email pings. Our modern lives vibrate with the hum of constant scheduling. And yet, beneath it all, the ancient rhythm still beats, the one that connects us to the Earth's slow spin, to the heart's gentle pulse. Einstein once remarked that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. But humanity clings to that illusion because it gives meaning to motion, to progress, to the sense of control. We measure because we fear the unmeasured. Atomic clocks now define the second with incredible precision. 9,192,631,770 vibrations of cesium atom. It's perfection on paper, but it doesn't make a single sunrise more beautiful. Somewhere in the depths of a mountain, those clocks hum quietly, their signals transmitted across the world to keep every device in sync. Planes fly safely, computers communicate, satellites navigate, all because we've trapped time inside technology. But none of it feels slower. None of it feels calmer. In the rush for accuracy, we lost the softness that once surrounded the passage of days. The way a shadow stretched across a courtyard, the sound of bells drifting on evening wind, the smell of wood smoke at dusk. These were the true markers of time, measured in sensations, not seconds. Yet, there's still hope for reconciliation. The clocks may have taken over, but nature hasn't gone silent. Every sunrise still arrives unannounced. Every heartbeat still keeps its own tempo. Every dream still ignores the ticking entirely. Time may be measured by machines, but it is lived by us. So tonight, as you listen to the quiet, you can feel both worlds overlapping. The mechanical precision that keeps the stars mapped and the gentle, immeasurable pulse that keeps you human. The truth is, time never needed us to master it. It only asked us to notice it. If you were to hold a stone in your hand, any stone, small and ordinary, you'd be holding a piece of time so vast that your mind can't truly grasp it. Every rock, every grain of sand, every mountain is a record of something once alive, molten, or drifting in a sea of stars. This is what geologists call deep time, the unfathomable age of the Earth itself. Human time is fragile and fleeting. We measure our lives in decades, our history in centuries. But the Earth measures in billions of years. It keeps no calendars, no clocks, only memory written in layers. Imagine peeling back the surface of the planet like pages of a book. Each layer of rock tells a story. One speaks of ancient oceans filled with creatures long extinct. Another records the fall of an asteroid that darkened the skies. Far below, molten minerals hold whispers of the planet's birth. When the Earth was still glowing, its crust thin as skin. 4.5 billion years ago, this world was chaos. a storm of rock and metal circling a newborn Sunday time back, then didn't flow as we know it. It crashed, collided, melted, cooled. Mountains rose and fell long before eyes ever saw them. The first rains fell when the air was still poisonous, and somewhere within that storm, the spark of life appeared, fragile, microscopic, unstoppable. It's humbling to think that the seconds passing now are part of that same continuum, the same unbroken thread that began in fire and will end in ice. When scientists study deep time, they use clocks made not of gears or glass, but of atoms and fossils. Radioactive decay marks centuries like gentle heartbeats. The shells of tiny marine organisms become calendars etched in stone. In the stillness of a canyon wall, you can read hundreds of millions of years in a single glance. And yet, deep time is not just about age, it's about perspective. It reminds us that the present moment, which feels so absolute, is only one ripple on a vast ocean. Mountains erode, continents drift, oceans rise and vanish. Everything that seems solid is temporary. The Himalayas, for instance, are still growing, pushed upward as India collides with Asia, a collision that began 50 million years ago and still continues, millimeter by millimeter, right beneath your feet. The ground you stand on is moving, though you cannot feel it. You are part of an unfolding story written on a planetary scale. And yet, within that immensity, every moment still matters. Every footprint you leave becomes sediment. Every breath you take contributes to the planet's chemistry. Life itself is part of the Earth's memory, soft layers of experience accumulating atop stone. It's strange, isn't it, how time feels both infinite and fragile. A second can change a life, yet entire civilizations vanish in the blink of geological time. The Earth is patient. It has seen oceans born and swallowed, forests bloom and turn to coal, creatures rise, fall, and return to dust. And still it spins, slow, steady, eternal. Somewhere deep beneath the crust, radioactive atoms continue to decay, releasing heat that keeps the planet's core alive. That warmth, rising through mantle and magma, is the echo of Earth's first breath. You live above a world still forming, still breathing, still counting its own version of time. Scientists sometimes call this vast chronology the long now. It's the awareness that our days are just flickers in an ancient, ongoing process. To embrace deep time is to see yourself not as separate from history, but as part of it. Not a fleeting moment, but a continuation. When you stand on a beach and watch waves erode the cliffs, you are watching deep time at work. When you see a mountain shadow stretch across a valley, you are seeing the residue of billions of sunrises. Even the air you breathe carries atoms forged in ancient stars that exploded long before the Earth was born. Everything around you is impossibly old, yet somehow still new. And maybe that's the quiet lesson of deep time, that nothing truly ends. It only changes form, flows forward, folds back, merges with something greater. The rocks beneath your feet were once light. The light above your head will someday turn to dust, and that dust will someday become another world's beginning. You are standing in the middle of eternity, and eternity is standing still. So breathe slowly. Feel the weight of the ground beneath you, not as burden, but as history. You are held by 4 billion years of memory, and you are adding your own heartbeat to it right now. For all its vastness, time has a direction, or at least it seems to. Everything we know moves from past to future, from order to disorder, from birth to decay. But why? Why does time only flow one way? Why can't a cup unbreak? or ashes rise in a flame again. This mystery lies at the heart of what physicists call entropy, the measure of disorder in a system. Every process in nature increases entropy. Heat spreads, structures collapse, energy disperses. Ice melts into water, stars burn through their fuel, memories fade. This is the arrow of time, invisible, unstoppable, written into every atom of the universe. But entropy is not destruction. It's transformation. When a candle burns, it doesn't vanish. It becomes warmth, light, and invisible gas. The same energy simply changes shape, moving toward balance. Time's arrow, then, is not about loss. It's about evolution, the universe forever redistributing itself toward equilibrium. In the early universe, everything was strangely ordered. Matter and energy were packed tightly together, smooth and uniform, like a calm sea before a storm. Then came expansion, and with it, the possibility of difference. Temperature, gravity, and motion began to diverge. That imbalance created structure, galaxies, stars, planets, and life. Without disorder, there could be no meaning, no complexity, no now. You can feel entropy in your own life. A room left untouched gathers dust. A memory fades if it's not revisited. The body, brilliant as it is, slowly trades precision for experience, perfection for wisdom. Entropy gives time its texture, the soft fray at the edges that makes everything precious. Physicists have tried to imagine what it would be like if entropy could reverse. They describe a universe where heat flows from cold to hot, where broken glass leaps back together, where cause and effect are meaningless. But such a world would be sterile, a frozen perfection where nothing new could ever emerge. So time, in its forward motion, is a gift. It allows things to change, to grow, to become. It gives stories beginnings and endings. Without entropy, a melody could never unfold. It would be one endless note. Some theorists believe the arrow of time might not be absolute. In the timeless equations of quantum mechanics, the laws of nature work equally well backward as forward. Yet we, trapped in human perception, experience only one direction. Perhaps it's consciousness that gives time its forward flow, memory creating the illusion of motion through stillness. Imagine standing in a vast library, filled with every possible page of history, past, present, and future, all at once. You could open any book, any moment, any possibility, but the mind reads line by line. You can only experience one sentence at a time. That's what it means to live, to move through the story of entropy, creating meaning in the direction you face. The universe, on its largest scales, will continue to unfold in that same way. Stars will die, their energy scattering into dust. New stars will form from that dust, only to fade again. Galaxies will drift apart, their lights stretching into darkness. Eventually, there may come a time when even atoms break apart and motion itself slows to silence. A state cosmologists call heat death, when entropy has reached its limit. But don't let that sound like tragedy. It's simply the final breath of creation, the completion of a cycle billions of years in the making. If there is beauty in youth, there is peace in rest. And yet, some whisper that beyond even that end, the arrow may bend back on itself, that the universe might collapse and begin again, each cycle erasing the memory of the last. If that's true, then everything that has ever happened, every life, every love, will return, rearranged but eternal. Whether or not the universe repeats, one truth remains. Entropy gives meaning to the moment you're in now. The ticking clock, the fading sound, the quieting breath. Each is a reminder that time moves so that you can move with it. There's comfort in that inevitability. It means you don't have to hold on to every second. You only have to witness it, feel it pass through you, changing shape, becoming memory. The arrow of time points forward, but it doesn't drag you. It invites you. Each heartbeat, each breath, each thought is both an ending and a beginning. The flow never stops. It simply becomes softer, deeper, more timeless. So as you rest, let yourself fall into that current. You are drifting in the same direction as stars and rivers and galaxies, toward change, toward transformation, toward peace. There are rare moments when time seems to stop altogether, not because the world halts, but because your awareness slips perfectly into alignment with it. These are the timeless moments when you're so absorbed in what you're doing that the boundary between self and action disappears. Psychologists call it flow, but ancient poets simply called it grace. You felt it before. When you lose yourself in music, in a sketch, in the rhythm of waves, or the hum of a late-night street, you forget to measure the minutes. You stop thinking about past or future. There is only the act and the awareness of it, merged into one. Artists, athletes, scientists, and monks have all described this same experience, though they use different words. A painter might call it inspiration. A runner might call it freedom. A monk might call it meditation. What unites them is the disappearance of time. In that state, the brain shifts into a strange and beautiful rhythm. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning, worrying, analyzing, grows quiet. Meanwhile, other regions, like the basal ganglia and motor cortex, light up in harmony, allowing the body to move, think, and create without interference. The mind stops interrupting itself, and suddenly, everything flows. This is why people describe it as effortless effort. They say, "I wasn't thinking, I was simply doing." The writer's pen moves as if by its own will. The dancer's body seems to remember something ancient. The musician becomes the song. Time in these moments doesn't just slow, it becomes irrelevant. Studies of athletes in flow show that their perception of duration can shift by as much as 300%. A minute might feel like an hour, or vanish completely. The clock outside continues as normal, but the inner clock, the one that measures experience, steps aside. And in that pause, something extraordinary happens. The mind becomes still, but fully alive. You're not escaping reality. You're meeting it with complete attention. The world sharpens, colors brighten, sounds deepen, motion smooths. You're not watching time pass anymore. You are time passing. This feeling is addictive because it's natural. It's how consciousness was meant to function, unfragmented, undivided. The more you chase it, though, the harder it becomes to find. Flow comes only when you let go of control, when you allow yourself to be carried by the present. You can see this same serenity in nature. Rivers do not rush. They follow gravity's invitation. Trees do not strain to grow. They simply reach for light. Even the planets, spinning through the void, do so without effort. The universe moves in flow, each thing responding perfectly to what surrounds it. When you fall into that rhythm, you join that cosmic dance. You become like the river, the tree, the star. You are both still and moving, both observer and participant. The you, who measures time, dissolves, and what remains is life itself, pure, uninterrupted, timeless. Ancient philosophers called this harmony kairos, the opportune moment, when time opens and reveals something eternal inside the ordinary. To live in Kairos is to be awake to the present so deeply that even silence feels sacred. And though it may last only a breath, it leaves an imprint. People who enter deep flow often describe emerging from it renewed, as if they had traveled through a quiet pocket of eternity. The experience lingers, not as memory, but as calm awareness that time isn't something to manage, but something to merge with. You can enter it anywhere, while painting, walking, or simply breathing. It doesn't demand effort, it invites surrender. The key is presence, noticing what's in front of you without trying to change it. The mind softens, the noise fades, and you slip gently into alignment with everything that is. Try it now. Listen, not to words, but to the spaces between them. Feel the pause after each breath, the faint hum of your surroundings. That's where timelessness begins, in the stillness you often overlook. When you stop chasing the next second, the moment you're in becomes infinite. This, perhaps, is the real purpose of time, to lead you back to the present, again and again, until you finally realize there's nowhere else to be. And when you do, the flow returns, effortless, endless, serene. If every beginning has an end, then every end also carries a beginning within it. Even time itself, for all its certainty and direction, must someday meet its own horizon. Scientists have long wondered what that moment will look like, the end of time, when the universe grows too old, too spread out, too quiet to keep counting. The story begins not with darkness, but with fading light. Stars are the clocks of the cosmos, and one by one, they will go out. Some will explode spectacularly, scattering their elements like seeds into space. Others will cool slowly into faint embers called white dwarfs, their glow dimming across billions of years. Galaxies will thin. The night sky will lose its constellations. The universe will enter its long twilight. It sounds lonely, but there's a strange beauty in it. The silence won't be sudden. It will arrive softly, the way winter comes, gradual, inevitable, peaceful. As matter decays and energy disperses, time itself will lose meaning. There will be no more motion, no more change, no more difference between moments. Entropy, at last, will reach its peak. Some physicists call this the heat death of the universe, the moment when all usable energy is gone, when temperature, movement, and light fade into uniform stillness. It's not destruction, but completion, the final balance point of everything that ever was. But others believe time won't end there. They imagine that even in the darkness, quantum fields will still shimmer faintly, producing tiny sparks of existence that flash and vanish in the void. Some of those sparks, by chance, might ignite new universes, bubbles of space-time budding from the fabric of the old. In that sense, time may never end at all. It may simply start again, endlessly looping through creation and collapse, each cycle unaware of the last. You can almost see it, a universe collapsing inward, then bursting outward in light, a heartbeat of eternity. Expansion, rest, renewal, time breathing. And maybe that's how it has always been. Maybe the beginning of time, what we call the Big Bang, wasn't a single event, but a moment in a rhythm so vast that our entire history is just one pulse in its song. When cosmologists look back at the early universe, they see fluctuations, imperfections, the tiny imbalances that made galaxies possible. Without those irregularities, everything would have remained smooth and featureless forever. The same may be true for the end. Even the quietest equilibrium could hold the seeds of another beginning. In the end, Perhaps time doesn't die. It just forgets itself for a while. And as strange as these theories sound, they all point towards something deeply comforting. The universe is cyclical, creative, and patient. It wastes nothing. Every collapse becomes foundation. Every silence becomes prelude. Every ending becomes breath. The same truth applies to you. Every moment you live is both fading and forming. Every ending in your life quietly making room for something new. The atoms that form your body were once inside stars that burned out billions of years ago. You are proof that time renews itself. So if the universe will one day rest, it will rest the way you do at night. Not in death, but in renewal. You, too, dissolve into stillness, only to wake again in light. Close your eyes and picture that final horizon. Galaxies stretch thin across a velvet black sky, stars blinking out one by one like candles in a cathedral. The silence deepens, but it isn't empty. It's full of memory, of everything that ever was. The last photon drifts, and even that faint whisper of energy carries the echo of creation. Time, it seems, will always find a way to begin again. And so will you. Now, the story of time slows. The universe softens its breath, and the noise of days fades into a distant hush. You've traveled far, from ancient sundials to spinning galaxies, from the ticking of your heart to the stillness beyond stars. Each chapter has carried you deeper into understanding, not just of time, but of presence. The truth, whispered beneath every scientific equation and cosmic mystery, is simple. Time is not your enemy. It is your companion. It doesn't steal. It gives shape to experience. It lets moments bloom, allows love to grow, and teaches even endings to become beginnings. You don't live in time. You live as time, flowing, expanding, contracting, unfolding with the same quiet grace as the universe itself. Every second you breathe adds another ripple to eternity, small yet infinite. So let the ticking fade now. Let the boundaries of past and future dissolve. The only time that exists is this breath, this heartbeat, this stillness. Outside, the world continues its slow rotation. Stars drift through their endless dance, and the earth hums beneath you, ancient and alive. Inside, your own rhythm joins it, perfectly synchronized. You've reached the still point, the place where time no longer moves, because you've become part of its flow. Rest there, float there. Everything that has been, and everything that will be, is already here. Sweet dreams.